Hello and welcome to EV Car Share. I'm Matt, and today I'm going to look at or tell you how to use the waiting in the car park for your child to come out of their friend's house or their school club or their school mode while you're wasting your life away sat there. Actually, maybe I should turn off sarcasm mode first. It's called utility mode. So I think in Teslas, when they came on the market, they had a thing called camp mode. Kia, they have a thing called utility mode. It's basically as I described. It's the mode for sitting in the car. You want all the stuff to be available. You want to have your interior lights if you want to maybe read a book. You want to have your aircon, your heater if it's cold in the winter. Imagine you've taken your little lad down to football practice. You don't want to sit or stand by the side of the field in -2 degrees on a early Saturday morning with all the other parents. You'd prefer to just sit in a nice toasty car, read a book, and wait. Well, that's this mode. That's what that can do for you. So it's the equivalent of the camp mode in the Tesla. It's called utility mode. The idea is you can use your heating, your aircon if it's hot. You can use your lights. You can use your stereo if you want to listen to the radio or some music. You can use your vehicle to load if you want to run your laptop or charge things up or boil a kettle or run a coffee maker or whatever you want to do. And it will all run off the high voltage battery, or at least if it's coming off the 12 volt because of the circuitry, then the 12 volt is being powered by the high voltage battery. So you're not going to have a situation where you deplete your 12 volt battery. So comparing to like a petrol or diesel car, if people are used to that, then it's when you get into that car park, you're sat in your petrol car, you've turned it off, you turn to the first notch to listen to the radio, then you think to yourself, hang on a minute, if I sit here too long listening to the radio, then I'm going to deplete my 12 volt battery. I'm going to run out of battery and the car won't start when I come to start it. So that sort of situation. Of course, in a petrol car, you have no choice but to turn the engine on and use up lots of petrol. In this mode with the EV, you can just turn on the power. I suppose you're still using the energy from your battery, but you're not producing fumes out the back while you're sat there in the car park, in the school car park with little kids walking past or whatever. So that's basically what we're looking at. So first off, we're going to grab this camera and I will show you on the screen how to find it. So you can see here we're on the main screen. I can just swipe that aside. You don't want to be going into settings here, not this cog, although you will be finding another cog in a moment. You want to be going up to your EV settings. Once you're in your EV settings, then you'll notice there is another cog here. It's a bit confusing, some of the Kia infotainment system. It's okay once you get used to it and you know where things are, but some of it is not all that natural. I mean, why do I have EV and then settings when on the previous screen I have settings and then I can go EV, and they take me to two different places. So here we can go to that settings here, and down the bottom here we have a thing called utility mode. So you can tap on that. It describes here exactly what I've kind of described. In utility mode, the high voltage battery is used to power electric devices while the vehicle is off. This way the infotainment system and interior lighting can be operated during long stops or while camping or while waiting for your kids. So we have activate utility mode. It's just one big button, and then it says press start to exit utility mode. Don't quite understand that, but that's what you have to do. So you have this big button, you can tap it. We are now in utility mode, and it says at the top, activating utility mode. And then on your main screen, down here, you'll see that you now have utility mode, or util, written down here, and you don't have the green ready. So if you were to try and put this into drive, it won't allow you to do so. You have to exit the utility mode by indeed here pressing the start button, and that will turn off the car, and then you have to restart by putting your foot on the brake and pressing start as you normally would to start the car. people will often comment, why don't you just leave it in ready mode and put it in park? Which is a perfectly good thing to ask. So here, and also really in the user guide of the car, it doesn't tell you what's the difference between having this mode activated compared to just stopping the car, putting it in park and leaving it in park. I don't know. I think I may have a look on Car Scanner when I get the opportunity to see if there's anything in terms of battery usage, or whether it stops some of the oil or water pumps running for the motor or anything like that, whether it disengages those sorts of things and is therefore slightly more efficient. I don't know, but you could equally just pull up, put the car in park and leave it on. It would effectively do the same thing. But this is utility mode. I generally use utility mode rather than just leaving the car in park, probably just because it's a mode that's there and I kind of think I may as well use it. There must be a reasonable reason for it. Maybe there isn't. Maybe I'm just using it irrelevantly. So you can, as I mentioned, stop the car by pressing the start button, and that will exit utility mode. Then you can put your foot back on the brake, press your start button, and that will put you back into ready mode. So when you're ready to drive away, and you can see down here now it says ready in bright green. If you like shortcuts, if you like utility mode and want to use it regularly, then there is a shortcut star down here on the infotainment panel. So switch from the heating to the infotainment panel. This star, if you press and hold it, it will allow you to choose what that star does. And if we look on the list, you'll see that utility mode is one of the options here. So you can choose to have utility mode as the function for that star button. So now, whenever you want to go into utility mode, you can press the star button and it takes you straight to that screen. It doesn't activate it, but it brings up that screen instantly for you. So if you want to use it quickly, if the reason you would prefer to just leave the car in park is because you have to go through a couple of different menus and you can't find it, then you can always use the star button down there to have it as a shortcut, and then you've got no excuse really not to be able to just stick it into utility mode quickly. Unless of course you prefer to have the star button as something else, because there are a variety of different options to use for that shortcut, and maybe you'd prefer to have one of the other options instead. I can perfectly understand that. And as I say, not entirely sure what the difference is between utility mode and just leaving it in park. If you do know, then please feel free to add it to the comments. That would be useful. Turn that off. Yep, as I was saying, add it to the comments down below if you know more than me and you know what utility mode, difference between utility mode and just leaving it in park is. As I say, when I get a chance, I'm going to have a look and I'll see on Car Scanner and see if I can spot any differences between sitting there in utility mode and also in just park, and we'll see. But that's all I have for today, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. If it's useful, please let me know, please like, and if you like my channel, then please subscribe. All is good. And of course, I will speak to you next time.